Creepy vids TW. If you get scared easy, don't watch.
This is why you should never use a red crayon.
This is about a creepypasta called The Crayons.
A married couple who had just returned from their honeymoon decided to buy a house. And one day the husband was walking down the hall when he spotted a red crayon lying on the floor.
Now the couple didn't have any children, so they wondered where this crayon had come from.
The next day the husband came home from work to find another red crayon lying in the same spot.
He was very puzzled and decided to ask his wife about it.
She told him that every day since they first moved into the house, she had been finding red crayons when she was cleaning.
And they were always lying in the same spot at the end of the hallway.
So he tapped on the wall at the end of the hallway and heard a hollow sound. Curious, he began peeling off the wallpaper.
And behind the wallpaper, he found a pair of sliding doors. They were nailed shut, so he had to open them one by one. And then he opened the doors to reveal a small hidden room.
Looking inside, they saw that the walls of the little space were covered in words scribbled in red crayon.
Over and over were the words, "Mommy, I'm sorry, let me out. Mommy, I'm sorry."
If you scare easily, I wouldn't watch till the end of this video. On the evening of June 23rd, 2012, a 16-year-old boy named Michael was reported missing after going for a late-night dive with some friends. Nearly an hour later, the Coast Guard was called to retrieve the boy, and at about 2 a.m., a diver was doing body recovery in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. After about 45 minutes of searching, the diver began to experience decompression sickness, so he began to ascend back up to the surface. As soon as he came back up, one of his crewmates yelled and said that their chief needed them back in 20 minutes, so they only had enough time for one last ascent. As the diver went deeper and deeper, he began feeling around for any signs of the missing boy, but unfortunately, he had zero luck. That is until he stumbled upon an old, rusted bicycle that appeared to be covered in blood. This was a good sign that the boy was near, so he began to reach his hands out feeling for the body when this happened.
Warning, if you get scared very easily, this video is probably not for you. This is one of the scariest girls in the world, and this is why. So I'm sure a lot of you know about the movie The Orphan, right? Well, it was based on true events, which makes it even more creepier. This is the real girl who pretended to be an orphan. She was a 33-year-old grown woman who had a disability that made her look like a child. So she acted like one and got adopted to these two sisters who were schizophrenic. She was so psychologically messed up that she literally convinced the sister to torture her own sons. Long story short, the cops found out what was going on. They came and arrested the two sisters and saved the boys. But then, this is when it gets super creepy. That's when the cops found her crying near the boys and thought that she was a child too, and sent her back to an adoptive home, where she went missing. No one knows where she's at.
If you go to this island, you will die. This is North Sentinel Island. If you go anywhere near this island, you will die. The island is in the middle of nowhere and you can only access it by boat. The people on this island are called the North Sentinelese and they are all a part of one tribe. The Indian government even said it is illegal to go within 5 miles of this island because it's so deadly. If you get too close to this island, the people will shoot you with bow and arrows, beat you to death, and then consume your body. This is missionary John Allen Chow. He tried spreading the gospel to the North Sentinelese people, but they ended up killing him on the spot and eating his body.
This is some weird scurry shit.
Oh, hell no, you guys have to see this. What the heck is that? That looks... Oh, hell no.
Animal sounds you probably wouldn't want to hear in the wild, part 2. Look, they ain't laughing because something's funny. That maniacal laugh is from a fresh kill or communication during a hunt. When their gang rolls deep, they could have up to 100 members, so just know that they will all be on you like white on rice. So, just stay away and don't deliberately disobey me. Now that sound seems like it was straight out of a Jurassic Park film. Look, you don't want to encounter an elephant with an attitude. When Motomoto here isn't showing off some breakdance move, he just got hip tossed by this tusked behemoth. Lynx are not normally a threat to humans, but damn, did you hear that sound? Dude, straight out of a horror film. I could have easily mistaken that for the exorcism of Emily Rose. I'm gonna have holy water equipped at all times now.
The legend of La Sayona originated in Venezuela and tells the tale of a vengeful spirit who appears to men who have affairs. One night, a man who was obsessed with her lied to her and told her that her husband was having an affair with her own mother. Blind with anger, she burned down the house with her husband and baby inside and ran to her mother's house immediately after. She attacked her, and as her mother bled to death, she cursed her, telling her she would now have to avenge women by killing their unfaithful husbands. The legend claims that when her spirit appears, she'll ask for a cigarette or for a ride home, and anyone who gives in to her temptation will suffer the consequences.
This is the scary truth behind Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig was diagnosed with cancer at just 2 years old and spent most of her early life in bed. She needed constant assistance and 24-hour supervision from her parents just to keep her alive. Peppa was an embarrassment and a burden to the whole family. One day, her dad had enough and got a horrible idea. He decided to chain Peppa to her bed so she could never leave her room again. Years later, her parents had another child in which they named Peppa. This Peppa replaced the original Peppa, who is still locked inside her room. And if you Google Peppa Pig house wallpaper, something terrifying comes up. At first glance, you can't see it, but if you zoom in, you can see the original Peppa still locked inside her room.